Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am T Eagle, and this is episode 1 of our career mode. And we have a My Player career mode out there, but this is a team career mode, and I'll put a link in the description below to the other one. As we jump into this one, you have a couple options here, I guess, in the beginning due to progress or something. But you can get an increase to your transfer budget or use it for like the global transfer. And obviously, as you see, we select our team, which is Cardiff City, for a couple different reasons, but main one being their low, budget. So I don't see the need to obviously increase that. We would kind of go against the purpose of choosing a team with a lower budget. But you can see we are going to play on world class. I'm not the greatest player in the world, but I can do okay. But we'll play it on world class. We'll download the latest rosters and kind of go from there. I chose Cardiff City for a couple reasons. The first being, to me, it's kind of interesting that they hadn't ever been in the BPL until last year, I guess, was their first time. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then they were quickly relegated from that. And so I figured it'd be kind of fun to take a team like that that's had just a little taste of what it can be like in the Premier League and try to get them into that position on a permanent basis. And then also, just looking over some of the rosters, they actually have some pretty good players that, I feel like we can actually kind of build from and do pretty well with. So that being said, hopefully we can get in. Hopefully we can do well. And guys, if you do enjoy the video and would enjoy this series, please remember to drop a like. Please comment. Please subscribe. I'd kind of really love to go through this with everyone. Get to the point eventually where I can get my green screen set back up from moving from my other house. We'll get that all set up and maybe do some of these live and on Twitch and so forth. So that being said, let's kind of get in and see what we're doing here on the administrative end. And we get some of our objectives here in the first episode, just what they're expecting us. And, in the Domestic Cup, they want us to reach around a 32. And then, they're obviously going to tell us the transfer market's open. Now, if you watch any of my career modes from before, I don't do a whole lot in the transfer market in that first window. I really like to kind of play through the first season with the team we have. That being said, I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out with this career mode. We'll just have to kind of see what the players are like and maybe what we feel like we can upgrade. So that being said, we'll look at some of the players that we have. And we had a couple injuries, one being Guerra, I guess. He was hurt from last year. He had gotten hurt toward the end of the year. And he's just kind of on demand. And he's almost ready to go, but not quite 100% fit. So we're not going to do anything with him just yet. We will put him in as a sub, but we're not going to insert him into that starting lineup just yet. But as we go in and we get ready, we're going to go ahead and set up our global transfer network as some of the dates are simulated through here again in the transfer market in this opening window. Again, I'll look around a little bit. I'm probably not going to sign anyone, but don't hold me to that, because if someone pops up there that catches my eye, I may go ahead and do that as well. So getting ready for our first game, which is actually going to be in the Capital One Cup. So that's pretty exciting. We're going to go through and we'll look at a couple more emails that we have. And of course, you always get the player conversation like, hey, I'm awesome, and can you put me in the starting lineup? So you always have to deal with those. But we're going to select some of our scouting areas, and depending on what we have, obviously, with the scouts, is really how it's going to be determined where we send them. But we'll send them out for now and just kind of feel around and see what we can find out there. I think as of right now, we really could use a striker, maybe depending on the formation I choose. But Kenwyne Jones, who is pretty intriguing to me, he's such a big guy, and he really does play well. He's getting, I don't want to say he's getting old. I think he's 27, but his pace is pretty low for FIFA 15. I think FIFA 14 he was outstanding, but this year I think he has 74 pace, 75 pace maybe. It's just not that good. So we'll see what we can do with him in the first few games. But I think obviously down the line we're going to need to add a striker. But we're going to get into the first game against Oxford, and we're going to get things going in the 11th minute. We get it to Kenwyne Jones, and he does nothing. And then moving into the 15th minute, we'll get him again, Kenwyne Jones. And here he's going to show a little bit of speed, but then everyone catches up to him, and we hit the post. Almost a really good start for us there, but we're just unable to capitalize. But then we just kind of keep the pressure on here in the 20th minute. We're going to send it in to Noon. I don't know why, every time I see him, I want to call him No One, but we get really fortunate there, and he's going to knock that one in. You can see his name there. It's Noon. but I just want to call him no one. So, but he does get us the lead at 1-0. So there's our first goal with the new squad in our first career mode this year, and we'll take it. It gives us an advantage at 1-0, and that's kind of what we're looking for, is just kind of knock in some goals and see what we can do. But again, here's Cameron Jones, gets in the box, and no, he gets nothing. It just couldn't get anything remotely close other than that one that hit the post with him, and I kind of, let's say I was force feeding it, but I was really trying to get the ball into him just to kind of get some shots off. He doesn't have a very good weak foot, and he's not that great of a skiller or anything. But he's a big guy. I really feel like he could probably get into position to help me out, but we'll just have to see. But we're going to move ahead now. Just before halftime, in the 40th minute, again, Kevin Jones, a couple nice moves there, but then we just get stuffed by the keeper on the outside. He's just, I don't know if it's like agility or quickness. He just doesn't make real quick moves. They're kind of big dump truck type guy. He doesn't move real quickly. But in any event, we'll get a few opportunities, and then we'll head into halftime with that 1-0 lead. And you can see some of the other scores from around the grounds. But then, as far as Oxford United is concerned, they really didn't do anything. They didn't get any shots on us, so we're pretty happy with that. And then here's Pilkington. He's going to get going, running down pretty much on top. And I'm like, okay, this should be an easy goal. And no, I should have just stayed going where I was, but I tried to just cut it back and finesse it around the keeper, and it just didn't work out. So we're still at 1-0, though. And then we're going to get another shot here with Kenwin Jones, and we're still only at 1-0. He still didn't make it. But we're getting opportunities. And we take the win. We'll take a 1-0 victory in the first game. And now we just have to wait and see what we can do going forward and what you guys want to see from the career mode. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.